Hello my beautiful people, welcome to today's video. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for subscribing for my channel, for supporting me on this channel. God bless you. Please, if you know you have not yet subscribed, do me well to subscribe on this my channel, like my video and share my video. Please, for the cutting part area, on that back part, please add zipper allowance with 1 inch like this. Add zipper allowance with 1 inch. In case if you have washed the cutting part, try to add 1 inch at the back part like this. Alright, if you have cut it already, as in if you have washed it before cutting your dress, add zip allowance at the back part with 1 inch. So this particular part is the sewing part, so I will be sewing it right now. Alright, for this sewing part at this front part, look at how I've arranged it. This is one side, and this is the middle part, and this is another side part. So I will first of all join the front part before the back part. What I will do now is to make sure that, please try and watch the cutting part so that you understand this sewing. I will take this side part first and take the middle part. Make sure that I join the two where I notch, the two notching together. It must join together. I use my pin to hold it down. I use pin to hold it down. Alright, so I come down to my underbust. I say notch your work before sewing it. So this is my underbust notching. I join it together. You see the useful of this notching of a thing? It makes me to know where my underbust is and my breast point without getting confused. That is why I said always notch your work when you are cutting it. Now this is the full length part. I still use my needle to hold it. Now I'll be sewing half inches. I sew from the down part. When you're sewing your dress, sew from the down part. Now we turn it like this and sew from this side now. Sew it up to the shoulder part. So I will mark the place I will be sewing right now. So please, for the beginner's sake, use your tape to measure the half inches you'll be sewing, because I added half inches for the sewing allowance. So I use my chalk to measure my half inches where I will be sewing to make it easier for me. Sorry for this. So I'll be marking this half inches up to the upper part. But if you know you are perfect already, you don't need it. If you know that your hands can be straight, you can leave it. But for you to get perfect work, alright, that is the reason why I advise my students to always mark these half inches. So I'm going to be taking these half inches all the way to this is my point. Make sure that if I get to this my point, you measure that half inches. Remember I said I added half inches when I was cutting it. Please try and watch the cutting of this dress so that you understand it. So I'll be taking this half inches all the way to this my shoulder part. Alright, that is what I'll be doing right now. Alright, I'll be sewing it now. On top where I marked, on top my half inches, that is where I'll be sewing. And as you're sewing it, make sure you use your hand to be supporting your work. Alright, use your hand like this to be shifting it and sew on top the chalk. Don't sew more than the chalk. Make sure you sew on top the chalk. So when you're sewing it, don't be hurry, and just sew it gently. In fact, when you are sewing padded or princess dart, when you get to this princess dart area, you will take it easy. You don't rush it. Alright, so that your work will come out perfectly. You see what I'm doing here? I'm using my hand to be supporting what I'm sewing. I make sure that I look at the back, whether the cloth is equal. If it's not equal, I use my hand to arrange it well. All right, now I still follow my chalk. I hope you see what I'm sewing. So I make sure I arrange it well. See what I'm doing here? I said I will show you how to do all these things step by step, both the cutting and the sewing. Please, if you have not watched the cutting part, try and watch the cutting part so that you understand it very well. It's very, very easy. All right, so this is the main point. I'm using my hand to arrange it. You see what I'm doing? I hope you are seeing it. See, I'm using my hand to push this down part inside. Make sure that this two sewing here is equal. These two material is equal. The front and the back is equal. And I still follow my chalk. I'm still sewing on top the chalk. All right, this is my point. But this is my point. I make sure that I arrange it well. Please, when you are sewing this padded princess, please, anything Bustier, you don't rush it. When you can rush back parts, other area, but when you get to this area, you sew it gently, please. Don't hurry when sewing that side. Unless if you are perfect, you can you can easily pass out that side. All right, just make sure you follow your chalk. You see the importance of this chalk. Once I sew this once, I don't need to go and start sewing again. Sewing over and over to get what I want. With this my ½ inches, it covers everything I want. See, I'm almost done, and everything is equal. And try use pin to pin your work. The reason why it's going well, it's going easy like this, because I use pin for my work. I pin it up to this my shoulder part. Now everything will be equal. Nothing like after sewing it, one side will be longer than one side. The reason because if you do not pin it, it will be shorter than the one. Look at this, my work now. Everything is equal. So I'm done with this particular side here. I'm done. Look at it. I'm done with this side. I'm done with this side. See? You see how it's going to come out. See how easy it is. You see my sewing. You see how my point is my point area. You see the sewing is straight. You see how I sew it. I follow my chalk, make sure that everything comes out perfectly. After that, I remove my pin. Alright, I remove my pin. Alright, I remove my pin to... Alright, so I'm done with this, both this side and this other part. I've sewn this one also. Just the same way I sew this side, that is how I sew this other side. It's still the same thing. I just follow my chalk. After that, see how it comes out. On this dress, I'm not going to attach anything like wording or anything at all. Even lining, I'm not putting lining. I'm just using it to sew simple top. All right, just simple top. But if you want to add lining on your own, all you need to do is to the same way you cut this work. That is how you will cut your lining. All right. Now after sewing this particular one different, as in you have joined it different, join the side, the middle, and other side together. As I've joined it like this, the same way you join your lining also together. After that, you use the lining to turn the neck. You turn the neck like this. It's just very easy. You turn the neck from this side and sew it round to the upper side. After that, you turn it inside if you are putting lining. But on this work, I am not putting lining on it. What I use to turn the neck of my dress is facing. I can cut facing to do it, or bias to turn the neck of my facing. All right. And for the back, the same way I attach, I sew ½ inches for the front. That is how because for the back part also, I pieces it. I cut it the same princess that. So the same way I join the front, that is how I join the back part. Now after I have joined my zip part, my zip allowance part, and I join this one side with half inches. I don't need to see it again because it's still the same thing. But when you are sewing this back side, make sure that, remember, the back side is not padded, but I cut it princess form. All right, so when you are sewing it, you make your hand straight. So let me sew this area here so that you will see it, the side of this the back side of this, the same half inches. This is my half inches. I've already measured my half inches. I start to sew this for the back part. All right, now I start to sew for the back part like this. So please, when you're sewing this back part, remember, it's not, don't make it to be pad to come out padded form, because it's just sew it straight. You see the way I'm sewing it, make sure that your hands are straight. Measure half up to the upper side, and when you are sewing it, make your hands straight. All right, make your hands straight. All you need to do is to stretch your hand when you are sewing it. All right, see what I'm sewing now. This is for the back princess dart. That's what I'm sewing. There's nothing like princess padded there. I'm going to sew it straight all the way to the full length. All right, so this is the full, as in the end for this back part here. I still use my chalk to still measure my half, to say that I don't joke with this measurement of the thing. So I'm done with this. I'm done with this side of my princess dart, my back princess dart. I'm done with it. The same thing, like I said, I did it the same thing at this other part. So after that, I'm going to be using my, I'm going to cut facing or bias to turn the neck of mine. And I'm just making it simple. After that, I join the two shoulder, I put my zip and my sleeve, and that is the end of the video. Or I can do it in another way again. I will now join the front and the back together. After that, I use bias to turn the neck. So that is what I'll be doing right now. What I do now, this is my back part and this is my front part. I make sure that now I want to join the two shoulders together. See what I'm going to be doing here to make it easier. Make sure that this back princess dart here and this front okay, sorry for this, it's too, I'm going to face it face to face. Now I join this face to face like this. This is the face to the face of the front, and this is the face of the back. I make sure that this dart here, this back dart and this my front back dart must join together. Use pin to hold it, because I cut it princess on dart as the shoulder dart princess. Look at it. I make sure that these two princess dart joins together. Please, when you join it like that, you use your pin to hold it. You see, I don't joke using I don't joke with my pin. I always use pin for my work. It makes it not to shift. With this one now is equal. So I'm going to be sewing my shoulder right now with half inches. So the same thing, I'll come to this other side of my shoulder. Remember I said I'm going to join this shoulder first before using bias to turn the neck. Alright, or you can turn the neck first with the bias before joining your shoulder. Joining your shoulder depends, anyone you want to do that. But on this video, I decide to join the shoulder together first before using bias to turn the neck. Now remember again, for this other side, make sure that these two darts, this is the back dart and this is the front dart, must join together. Please join it together. Let your work be clean and nice. Anyone that sees your work will like your work. Now make sure that together and use your pin to hold it. Now I'm going to be sewing half inches for my shoulder part. I'm going to be sewing half inches. Alright. So I'm done with this the shoulder side. I've joined it. I will join this. I will join the other side of my shoulder. Look at how it comes out. Alright, see, it joined together. Look at the back princess dart and my front princess dart. See how they join together, because I use pin to hold it. So that is how I will do the other side of my shoulder. So this bias, I've cut bias. I'm gonna use this bias now to sew it round. Alright, so sew it round. You can buy bias, you can use the same cloth for it, no problem. So I'm going to pin it together from this neck and sew it from the front, sew it round to the back, you know, I just sew it round. Look at the front, look at the neck. So I'm going to sew it round with this my bias. I use my cloth as my bias, so I'll use it to sew it round and turn it inside. Alright, please remember the back part, that is the zip allowance part. Start from that zip allowance, as in when you are sewing it round, we're sewing it round, you sew from the zip allowance, part. Remember, you're going to fix you'll be fixing the zip there, so you sew it like this, follow it round to meet its other the second zip allowance side. So I'm done sewing it. The next thing to do, after I've sewn it like this, I'll now turn it at the wrong side. If I'll now turn it at the right side and fold half first and fold it again half. Now see how it is. So this is where I will be sewing now. On top of this place, sew it round. So the next I'll be doing now is to shape my dress and fix my sleeve. So that is end of the sewing. Before you start to shape the dress, first of all, pin the middle part of the front. Like this one is the front part and this is the back part. So I take the back part middle and the front part middle like this, and I pin it together so that it will be easy for me to shape. So once I've pinned it like this, I use my hand to make sure that I make two of them to stay okay, both the front and back to stay well before shaping my dress. So I come to this my shoulder side here. Remember, I remove the neck. My shoulder is 8 inches. This 8 inches, I remove 3.5 for my neckline, for the width of my neckline. What will remain there will be 4.5. So it's 4.5 that remain because I've sewed half already when I was turning the neck with the facing. So what will remain there is 4 inches. 4 inches. So this 4 inches now, here is 4 inches, while here is 4 inches. So that means my shoulder has complete 8 inches. But if it's more than that, you trim it off. After joining the front and the back, after shaping the front and the back, you trim the excess of the shoulder so that it will be very equal. So I'll be taking my shape, the shape of my dress. Alright, I'll be shaping it right now. Like I said on my videos, I shape from the zip part. I shape from the zip part. This is my zip part here, and my round bust is 42. I divided it into 4. What I got is 10 inches. So it's 10 inches I'll be putting from this. 10.5 is what I'll be putting from this side. This is my 10.5 here. Now I go straight to my. Now when I'm shaping it now, I don't take measurement again for my underbust. I go straight to my waist. Now this is my waist. My waist is 10 inches. My waist is 40. 40 divided by 4 is 10 inches, and this is my 10 inches. I've made video on how to shape your dress. Alright, I explain it there very well. This is my waist, and I go straight again to my hip. I say my hip. You use your skirt hip measurement for your blouse hip measurement. You don't need to measure it again. My hip is 12 inches, and this is 12 inches here. Alright, so I'm going to be sewing it right now. Whatever I take from this side, I go over to this other side, the same thing. Alright, that is how to shape dress. Very, very easy. So I will take it like this all the way down. Later, I will now sew it. Let me connect this one first. Now from here, I use my hand to connect it to the chalk. Like I say, when I'm shaping my dress, I say you should put your hand, as in curve your hand inside a little. Curve your hand. If you don't have this, let me show you this French curve. Alright, this is a French curve here. I place it on top my armhole. This French curve helps a lot. If you know that you cannot be able to curve your hand inside, you try and get this French curve. See how I will shape it down. See my armhole here. This is my armhole, and this is my waist here. So everything has placed together, and this is my hip. So I place my French curve here and make sure that it's on top the lines. So I'll be making it straight now. All right, I've made the shock bold so that you can see it. See how I take. See how it curve up to this damp part here. So this French curve, it helps a lot. But in case if you don't have it, when you are shaping it, always make sure that your hands enters inside like this. You curve your hand inside. Don't follow. You don't sew it straight. As in this place, I've taken my dress already. Don't take it straight. Like I said in my video, as my round bust is 10.5, I always add half inches. All right, so that it will free the bust area. It will make it tight. Just add half inches. That is what I normally add on my dress. So I've added the half inches here. So I follow the curve and I follow it down. So this thing I did here, this is the same thing I will do on this other side. So I'll be sewing this lace now up to the full length. Please try pin your work. Try and pin the dress. Look as I've pinned it. So I'll start to sew it now. See my hand. I've curved my hand inside. I follow the. All right. I follow the chalk. I follow the chalk to curve my hand inside. Already, it has curved already. So as I'm sewing it now, I'm following my hand inside. Follow the sewing up to the full length. All right. So I'm done with this. I'm done with this part. All right. So I'm done with this side of shape. I will come to this other side and shape this side. But before then, let me trim the excess from the armhole. Okay. So if the back armhole is bigger than the front, you trim it off. You trim the little one off. So I've trimmed it out. So this is a armhole for the front and back. It's not equal. In case if it's not equal, you trim it off so that it can be equal. And for this other side of shaping, I start shaping from the damp part. I started from the damp part. I'm going to shape it. I'm still putting my hand inside. Try and use your hand to be arranging it. See how I'm putting my hand inside. I'm sewing it from the damp part. You can sew from the upper side. You can start sewing from the damp part. Whichever way is easier for you, it's still the same thing. So I'm done with this shaping of this dress. So the next thing to do now is to make sure that everything is equal. Okay, when you look at it now, the front armhole is bigger than the back armhole. So what I will do now is to trim it so that it will be equal. So I use my scissors to trim the front armhole so that it will be equal with the back armhole. That is what you will do. When you are making padded or princess dart, one of the armhole will be somehow wider than the one in the front, either the front or the back. So all you need to do is to use your scissors to trim off the excess so that it will be equal like this. So the next I will be doing now is to be fix my sleeve. All right, this is a sleeve. So I will first of all shape my sleeve first before attaching it to the main dress. Now see how I shape it. First of all, I start from the tip of this. This is my sleeve, and from this tip here, I will start to sew from this side. As I choke, I start sewing from this side. I measure my round sleeve. My round sleeve is 7. I sew from this tip like this. I sew it to meet with my 7. See the chalk this way, where this chalk is, that is where I sew, or I will be sewing right now. All right, so I will sew from this side up to this side. After I finish sewing it, I will now take it to the blouse that I will fix. See what I'm going to do here. This is another easier way of fixing your sleeve to your dress. Now after that, I turn it to the right part. I turn it like this, and I come to my sleeve, my dress for the shoulder part like this. So I take my sleeve. So my sleeve, where I notch. I join it together with the dress like this. Then I use my pin to hold it down. All right, to pin it down. All right. Now I'll start to be holding it, pinning this my sleeve to get to this armhole. So when you get to this armhole part, come to your sleeve where I sew. This place I sew. Open little. Loose little from it. From the sewing part, from the armhole side, I'm going to be losing little there. Just lose it. All right, and come to the main fabric like this. The armhole of the dress, I open it, I lose it little like this. So I've loosed it like this so that I will fix my sleeve up to that side. See what I do here? Make sure that my sleeve, I sew it straight to my armhole. So I will use my pin to hold it down. So this is another easier way to fix your sleeve. So I'll be sewing everything together, both the sleeve and the main fabric. See, I pin it up to the, remember, I've already sewed the sleeve. Later, I lose little, as in from the armhole side, I lose from here up to this side. And I come to the main fabric, I lose little again, just for me to fix my sleeve inside. Later, I will join everything together. So I'm going to pin everything round. And as you are sewing your sleeve, make sure that the main blouse and the sleeve is together. Don't let sleeve longer than that, the blouse armhole, and don't let the armhole blouse longer than this. So let it be equal. Everything must be equal. This is what I'll be sewing now. I'll be sewing all the way around. All right. So I've sewed it round to the armhole part. So that is why when you are cutting your sleeve, please watch my video on how to cut perfect sleeve. When you are cutting your sleeve, whatever allowance you add on your blouse, add the same allowance on the sleeve, because you are sewing. If you want to fix your sleeve with the blouse together, just like what I'm doing right now, I fix both the lining, the sleeve, and the blouse together. So always add the same allowance, the same allowance you add on the blouse, add it on the arm, on your sleeve. All right, so I'm done with this my sleeve. So what I will do now is to sew the armhole, both the sleeve and the main blouse together. So see how the sleeve, the last, how it comes out. Look at this side. So I've not really joined the sleeve and the blouse, but I'm just showing you for you to see how the sleeve will last very well, how it comes out. All right, so now I'll be connecting it together now. This is my sleeve and this is my main fabric. What I want to do now, I use my chalk, make sure that this is where I stop my sewing from my sleeve, and this is where I stop my sewing from my blouse, as in where I lose it up to this side. So I will use my chalk now to trace it, to connect it together. All right, see how easy it is. So I'll be sewing it now. I will start from that place I stop, where I stop. This is where I stop for my sleeve. All right, this is where I stop. So I'm going to be sewing it now. All right, see, it's very, very easy to sew. This is another easier way to fix your sleeve. Very, very easy. You don't need to shape your dress and start fixing your sleeve. Sometimes it's sometimes difficult for some people to fix their sleeve like that. But this particular way, follow it now. See how I'm sewing it. I will sew it up to where this my main blouse sewing ends. See, because I've already marked it, so I follow it. There's nothing to do about to worry about when you're fixing your sleeve. Very, very easy. So I've sewn it up to where I want to stop. It's very, very easy to sew. So that is what I will do for the second one. The same way I show you on this side, that is what I will do on the other side. See, my sleeve, my sewing for my sleeve, straight to my main dress all the way down. Very, very easy. If you follow this way to fix your sleeve, you will see how easier it is. Just give it a try. Alright, I'm done with the dress. The next thing to put is just to attach the sleeve, just to attach the zip at the back part. After that, I fold the down part of my work, and that is the end of the sewing of this dress. I hope you enjoy it. For my princess that I don't put any wording, but it still come out there. This is my princess that. Alright, just give it a try. See how easy it comes out. Please, thank you for taking your time to watch this my video. And if you have not subscribed before watching my video, support your girl by subscribing to this my channel, like my video and share my video. Please support your girl, subscribe for this channel. Thank you very much. Give this work a try. God bless you. I love you. Bye bye.